When we look back at the great industries that shaped our modern world, automobiles, air travel, television, radio, medicine, we see the great achievements. What we often do not see are the people, the pioneers, the dreamers, the engineers and scientists who, in workshops and labs, laid the foundations for entire revolutions. Their names in many cases have faded into obscurity, their stories lost to history. But today, we stand in a rare and precious moment, because unlike those other industries, we still have access to the living architects of our digital age. The women and men who built something not just transformative, but world-changing. Something that connects humanity in ways we're only beginning to understand. That something is the internet. The internet is arguably the single most influential invention of the past century, if not longer. It has reshaped our economies, our politics, our cultures, even our very identities. Yet for all its impact, so much of its true story remains untold. At BTW Media, we believe those stories matter, that the people who built the internet deserve to be remembered. Not just the household names, but the lesser-sung heroes, the network engineers, the computer scientists, the protocol designers, the builders whose brilliance laid the groundwork for everything we take for granted today. This is why we are launching The History of the Internet, a new series dedicated to uncovering and preserving the story of how this extraordinary creation came to be, told by the very people who were there. And this is where you come in. If you were part of this history, if you helped develop an early protocol, contributed to a foundational programming language, organized one of the first networks, or played a role large or small in bringing the internet into being, we want to hear from you. Your story matters. Your contribution deserves its place in the record. This series is a tribute and a chance to ensure that future generations will not only marvel at the internet itself, but understand the human effort behind it, the creativity, the persistence, the collaboration, most importantly, the sheer will it took to connect the world. The history of the automobile was written without its inventors. The history of flight was told long after its first dreamers were gone. The history of television and radio has been pieced together from fragments. But the history of the internet, that story can still be told in full by the people who lived it. Let's tell it together. This is The History of the Internet by BTW Media.